Hey everyone, this is Ravin. I just want to talk about difference of opinions here. It happens a lot at Dartmouth because it is a melting pot, and while it may happen frequently, it's not a bad thing. Professors actually encourage it because if people have different opinions, it means that the conversations are more interesting and they can take different shapes or forms and more people learn about it. And because we are a melting pot, people have different experiences and they bring that with them into conversation. So we can all watch a movie, we can all read a piece or reading for homework, but then the way that we understand it and process it could be different. And everyone's opinions are valid. The professors know that, we know that, and nobody's going to criticize one another for having a different opinion, unless it's just like straight up against human morality. You walk out of a disagreement with more knowledge than when you walked in, and another perspective under your belt. And I think that can be really useful, not for the real world, but just for having conversations with people and knowing how to interact with them in the first place. And that's something that Dartmouth does really well. They foster such a great academic learning environment because disagreements do happen and it's not looked down upon. And it doesn't become violent or physical. It's just an intellectual debate that encourages growth and encourages more knowledge.
A difference of opinion that I've had with a fellow Dartmouth student had to have been about the difference between ethnicity and nationality. As somebody from Texas, I am a Latino with an ethnicity of Mexican culture. So when my classmate had asked me where I was from, he was kind of under the impression that I had to originate from Mexico and therefore was not actually born in America. I quickly explained to him his fault in way of thinking, and thankfully he was very receptive to it, and it was a growing experience for the both of us. For him, he knew how to properly phrase any questions that he had about anyone's ethnicity without coming off as ignorance. While I had never really been exposed to questions like that since I come from a very homogenous region. I'm just so thankful that the both of us were able to have a calm and collected conversation about it, and that is just basically what the Dartmouth community is like. Everyone is very open to helping anyone with anything.
A lot of the students on campus are really open-minded. The only things I can really think of are in class when we've had some discussions before. There of course is a wide variety of opinions, especially when it comes to political topics in my government courses, but usually students are very willing to listen to each other and take into consideration other people's views and perspectives.
I found more in high school that people were more outright about their ideas, and a lot of their ideas differed from mine, which is interesting now coming to this completely different community where a lot of people aren't like me, and most of the ideas being kind of similar, which I found like a bit interesting. So I don't think outright many of my classmates and I have had very different opinions being here at Dartmouth, or it could just be that I haven't heard any of these out loud. Overall, I think that the community is very welcoming to different and new ideas, and I don't think that anybody will be put down because of their ideas as long as they are not harmful to others or, harmful to the Dartmouth community as a collective.
So coming from Brazil, I know what it's like to be an international student. I've gone through an entire process to be here legally. And when I see the topics of immigration, whether that's legal or illegal immigration, I always talk with my friends, and especially domestic students. And one of the things I did not agree with one of my friends was how he viewed immigration and how laws should be enforced in a way that I personally thought was a little bit strict, and that's on the side of the legal immigration. And so what I tried to show him was my own experience coming to the United States and showing him that, I had to navigate through all that harder path to be exactly where I am today. And it was just enriching, growing debate, disagreement at the same time. But I feel in the end that has shaped me to understand how different opinions can be formed under controversial topics like immigration. I became more aware of others' concerns, and in the long term I feel that's been helpful.
This term, just adjusting to life at Dartmouth and living with someone very different from me, my roommate whom I love very, very much, but it's been very interesting trying to figure out how to live with someone else that has different habits than you do. And I think it's been a challenge, but it's been good because we've both dealt with it in a very like peaceful, talk it out sort of way. So that's been nice. And you know, from anything from times when you go to bed versus the ways you study, all those little details that I think we don't really think about until we get to college and we truly experience it. So that has been interesting, and I think I've learned a lot just of how to be a good roommate, I think, and how to be someone that's easy to live with. But it's been great, and I'm really happy because we're both going to be on in the winter and we're both going to be rooming together again, so that's gonna be awesome. So yeah, that's it for this week's vlog. Thank you all for watching.